voice was really loud at the time. But I wasn't trying to be loud. I was actually asking. I was just want to know if the because I it's been a while since I was hooked up to an some sort of tube that draws blood and gives me medicine at the same time. I didn't know what the question was. I want to know is if the tube that gives you medicine, which was right here hooked up to, I was wondering if it's supposed to draw blood. That's all I want to ask because I was getting kind of scared to make sure I was going to be okay. And this was after I texted everything, all the bad and good memories to everyone. And Dad and Lydia didn't got to hear all of the good memories I was texting because he left after when Osmo decided to, and that's the reason why because his daughter was done. But I wasn't done. I was just taking a breather. And everyone in the hospital was getting sick. They were vomiting, they were going right into the bathrooms. All the nurses, all the male and female nurses, and all the male doctors and female doctors were right going to the bathroom, and one threw up in the janitor's bucket. The female, my male nurse. And now I know it's because they were worried about me and they loved me. Wait, I don't know why they were getting sick. That's made comments that the reason why they were getting sick is I asked them the other day because I remember them getting sick, and I asked because I was wondering, I was thinking, wait, is it that bad? My bad memories, is that why they're getting sick? And I asked Dad that. Why were they getting? I asked Dad that if he could confirm my theory yesterday, and he said yes. So he did confirm my theory. And so the nurse had asked me if I'm going to be here. I said fine, and then I put on my hospital clothes that she gave me because I was waiting for those. And then I passed out. Then I woke up, and the nurse said, uh, I remember. The nurse said, okay, I'm really sorry, calm down, I'm sorry, I realized that all happened to you. So she gave me plastic glasses that the doctors usually give because she said she couldn't find my old glasses, my old purple glasses that because I have trouble seeing since the playground accident I told her. I told her this is okay. I guy made a joke. Says you're sure you didn't always see like that. I think he was joking, and so anyway, I remember before I passed out. Well, I didn't pass out. I remember I didn't pass out. I fell asleep after I put my hospital clothes on. And then I woke up, and after the first thing I asked, because I assumed that they cut my hair. Because I feel like I got a haircut at the time. I asked, who cut my hair? And there says, no one cut your hair, Jake. And I said, well, do you like this new haircut? And she says, I don't know, Jake. It was funny to me looking back. And I said, can I take a look at my new hair too? And he says, well, we don't allow patients, she says we don't allow patients to look at themselves after, hmm, after something. She said it in a very, she explained it basically, she says, you know, you don't allow patients that are being heavily monitored look at themselves in the mirror. But she explained it differently than I did. And I said, okay. So then I went back to sleep. And then I woke up and fell asleep, and when I woke up again, I discovered I had an oxygen tube on, and I was being moved to several hospital rooms. It felt like the best drug high I ever made. It felt like a little bit like a drug high, although because I was hallucinating. I was hallucinating that the computers were laughing at me, so I moved my arms and waved my arms at them, and several times, and whenever I woke up and stuff, and then I woke up and I was unhandcuffed. I don't know who unhandcuffed me. There's someone that worked at the hospital unhandcuffed me. And then Dean was talking. I mean, I heard Dean talking to the doctor. And then I passed out after I did looking at my hearing handcuffs, and I said, "No one can stop me now." And then I passed out. I didn't know what I was saying at that point. I didn't know why I said that. I was just cranky and stuff. And she was explaining how the doctor says he's okay, he's well behaved. He just gets a little agitated, cranky. So, and then when I woke up in a different room in the hospital, they didn't tell me that they moved me into the same. They moved me. They didn't tell me at all. At all. The time when I woke up in different rooms, and they didn't tell me I was in the same hospital. They just moved me to a room and something that I would know, I guess. So anyway, anyway, so where was I? Oh yeah, so anyway, I woke up in a different room and asked if I could go to the bathroom several times because I felt like I kept on having the need to go to the bathroom. And this nice guy said I was okay. Yeah, I said, yeah, go ahead. And I remembered him when I was little, when I was 6, when I asked to go to the bathroom, and that this was when. And I remember him when I was. I remember he was the same. It was the same guy. He looked slightly older. He looks like the same guy that I saw when I was little, about asking to go to the bathroom. And when I was, he worked in a certain area of the Yale Hospital. And the reason why is because he was. I just remember him from when I was during the 7 years when I was living with Mommy. I remembered him, and most of the people that worked there were nice to me, always nice to me, and I remember pretty much almost everyone that was there. Pretty much everyone that I know of was there. I remembered somehow, and remember their faces. So. Then I remember after I got moved in the certain part of the hospital, I started my heart started being fast and my tongue was numb, and the doctor asked, "Has my heart beat this fast?" And I beat this fast before, and I said, "I don't know." they had to hold me up to make sure they were nice enough to hold me up, so both people were nice enough to hold me up to so I can answer the doctors. And they moved me to a different part of the hospital in a wheelchair, and they had to get my heart monitored because I think I was having a heart attack. They didn't tell me, but my heart was beating really fast, and my tongue was numb. I couldn't move any parts. I was struggling with moving any parts of my body. And the nurse said, "Okay, Jake, go hug God." I said, "Hi, Deanna, the purple dinosaur," because I was listening to the thing they wanted me to hug was a Deanna dressed in a buying the dinosaur costume. mm. 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 So I was telling them all about my Deanna in the hospital and how great she is. And how she knows I get cranky sometimes. I told them that. Yeah. I'm very thirsty right now. So, yeah, so they moved me in a wheelchair in another section of the hospital to get my heart also checked out another time again. With there's pretty girl that checks people's hearts to see how they're doing after this was after I had to hug some sort of plastic thing to check my heart. Then they had run several all different kinds of inspection on my heart to try to figure out what was wrong with to try to figure out what was like. And next thing you know, I remember I was fell asleep and then woke up in another part of the hospital. And that's when when I woke up, I asked if I got feeding again because I have a hard time sleeping. So that male nurse was nice enough to give me a sleep medication to help me sleep because I have trouble sleeping. And that's when he also gave me Risperidone that for a few days, and it was working wonders. And I felt like I was not. And I didn't know that was an antipsychotic. I thought that was a antidepressant because I felt less depressed, so I felt like I needed a stronger dose of that. So then the next day they decided to put me back on Devicote, and that made the positive effects of the Risperidone not as effective. So I was calling Dad every one of those days when I was in the hospital after having breakfast and watching TV. And Dad said what happened after I didn't know what he was talking about. Wasn't 100% sure, but I think he was talking about the psychotic break I had. It's not going to ask if it wasn't going to happen again. Although I wasn't 100% sure what he's asking, what he said, asking was not going to happen again the other day. So I wasn't really sure, so I said, no, I don't think so. I was very confused. I wasn't really sure what he was saying. And then I asked him to explain it to me. And then he explained to me the whole getting attitude after had him, which I wasn't getting attitude or trying her. I was just freaking out because I thought he was trying to kidnap me. and I felt like he didn't love me, so because I thought he knew everything. Then I remember when I was texting all my band members, he said he didn't know about the 10th birthday or the playground accident or any of that, the stuff I texted. So that made me feel better about him. Then I forgot that he said that after I went back on Devico, I forgot about that memory. So then I went back to being more mad at him. Then I said when I got out of the hospital that when I was coming with all these noise that Mom said you knew everything, and then he said he didn't, so that's when I stopped being mad at him again. But then I kept on forgetting he never said that he kept on saying that he didn't know everything because I was on Devico and the Devico was making my memory really bad, but it was hard to make. I don't know, hard to make new memories than remember the old memories. So eventually I got off of it, and now I'm off of it, and so I'm also off Humanity, which that was affecting my memory in a negative way. The Humanity and Devico were doing more harm than good mentally for me, and now I'm off of them. So I remember that. And every day every day when I was in that hospital, I called Dad, and he visited me every day. And one day he brought me home, and also what made me depressed that Deanne says I don't know about me, therefore I don't want to talk about them. So, so I felt like she didn't want to talk about them. So when I was reliving my memories from movies I had make sense because of all the trauma, because that caused me trauma also, and all the other stuff I told you caused me trauma. I relived memories of positive memories to Man of Steel. And I said if you could just talk about movies with me because I was freaking out because I felt like you need to have someone to talk about movies to help me feel. And they figured out before Dad did. So, I'm sweating because I'm all of a sudden forcing myself to remember it's intense, but I have to get through it. So, the next day, I think it was the next day, we watched the movie Girl Trip. Girls Night? It was either Girls Night or Girls Trip. Anyway, me and Lena watched that movie, and then that same day, we also went to Children's. And Dr. Gonzalez wanted me to spend time in the hospital for 1 week before he puts me on antidepressant for some reason, but I didn't know why. Because I don't think that was a good idea because I was thinking of killing myself in a week, and because I was craving the desire to kill myself in a week. But luckily that changed. Dad was very persuasive and convinced Gonzalez to say I needed the medicine now. Because part of the thing that was making me so anxious is because I got anxiety from wanting to hurt myself and stuff like that. Hurting myself as in ending myself. And I met friends in the hospital. I met Jessica, who is very who played Connect Four with me all the time, and Hyman and Angel, who is also a friend of mine, and many others at Metro West. This was at Metro West after I went to Children. I went to Metro West after spending a few days in Children's or a week in Children's. I can't remember. I think it was a week in Children's, and I spent a week in Metro West. And Dad picked me up after 1 week, and after spending 1 week in Metro West, because he could tell that I felt more like myself after the antidepressants. Could tell the antidepressants was starting to kick in, and for some reason the for some reason Dad said that the doctor at Metro West said, "Oh, it's all just in his head. That the medicine's not really working. It's just all in his head." So Dad convinced him for me to come home. Then I spent some time in St. Elizabeth after having a violent episode at Children's, because Gonzalez didn't really seem to understand that movies are how porn. He doesn't seem to understand that movie how porn movies were to me at the time. But so he was trying to encourage me, but he wasn't listening. I was having trouble with watching movies. He just says I need to get out in the community, and and wasn't understanding I have physically trouble watching movies now. So I did. So I said I was considering I was suicide, because if I can't watch movies anymore, I rather just kill myself right away. I said. Mm. And so then I went to the attack, and I just looked up like a baby, and then I put Lisa down, and then I got mad at her because I was at her fault, because I was still mad at my mommy, because I took some of my anger that I had from my mommy on her. And then I spent some time met more friends with the patients and people that work there. But there weren't any great things to do there, unlike Metro West, where there were group activities at Metro West and things I could do there, which I participated in and stuff. But with St. Elizabeth, I just stayed in my room most of the time, and Dad kept on visiting me, and Lydia kept on visiting me whenever they could. It wasn't every day. It wasn't as often. They didn't visit me as often as they did, and Metro West, or as they did with St. They didn't visit me as much in St. Louis as they did with Metro West or EO Hospital. Oh, and I was very worried that I wasn't going to get to see the Teen Titans Go movie in theaters. But I ended up seeing that in theaters before it came out of theaters. And it was awesome. And here we are in 2020. Bye.